I want you guys to know that the way that customers buy products on Amazon.com, if they're on a phone or mobile device, is way different than the way that they buy stuff when they are on a computer, okay? In fact, Amazon actually has listings. The listings on your mobile phone are organized in a completely different way than they are on desktop. And this leads everybody to tell you to optimize your listing based on how it's supposed to look on a desktop. But as we can see here, 62% of sales on Amazon are actually from a mobile device. 30% are from the actual web browser on your phone, and 32% are from Amazon's app you can actually download on your phone. Okay, only 38% of sales on Amazon come from a desktop computer, so it's way less than half. And the differences between these two are huge. I'm going to show you two ways that they're really big, and they are going to impact the way you optimize listings. I need you to pull up all your listings after this video and take a look at them, because you're going to see what you probably screwed up. So let's take a look at the very first big difference. Okay, you can see here I pulled up the search results for this one item, okay, this grill cover. You can see here that I can see the entire title, and in this case the title is 192 characters long. In case you're wondering, that includes spaces in the characters. And just so you know, this data right here actually comes from the Just One Dime conference that I went to. It's a conference for Amazon sellers. I went to probably about 4 months ago now. So that's where this data came from. One of the presenters presented it. But so you can see here, you can see the entire title. But if you go over here to your mobile app and your mobile web browser, all of a sudden you cannot see the whole title. You can only see 76 characters on the mobile app and 77 on the mobile browser. And this might be a little bit different depending on how big your screen is. But the importance is it is so much smaller. So if you have something really important, you absolutely need to make sure that it's in the very first part of the actual title. Because if you see this guy right here, we break down what you cannot see on mobile in green. I underlined it all. So one thing you cannot see on the mobile title is that this thing is waterproof. So if somebody really wants a waterproof grill cover, they are probably not going to click on this one, because they are not going to have no clue that this is a waterproof grill cover unless they actually click through and then they can see the entire title. But if the second guy, the next guy, actually puts that in the first 76 characters of his title, they're going to be able to see that it's waterproof, and if that's something they really value, they are going to probably click on that one and not this one. Okay, because they're literally not going to have any clue unless they click through. The same thing goes for the fact that it comes with a storage bag, or that it's, you know, UV, dust, and water resistant. And now this guy may have purposely optimized his listing because he believes this first 76 characters is the most important, or he may just be completely naive and he's selling more units because he is $5 cheaper than the next guy who is even selling these things. So again, you need to be very careful what you put in that first part of your listing, because it's super, super important to optimize your listings. The next thing is here, this is even bigger. This is even bigger by a long shot. What people actually see, because Amazon rearranges the way people see listings on the mobile devices versus the desktop. You can see here that pictures they're the very first thing for both listings, okay? But on a desktop computer, the very next thing is the bullet points for your product. But on a mobile phone, the bullet points are actually the very last thing, period, that people see, right before the reviews and the questions you've answered. So the problem is, a lot of people will tell you to put a lot of work into the bullet points, but then I see so many listings where the description sucks or it doesn't exist at all. A lot of people don't even have descriptions, or maybe they have one sentence descriptions. So people on your mobile phone, if they want to purchase your product and they want to learn more, they're going to scroll down. The first thing you're going to see is your non-existent or your really crappy description. So you really need to put a lot more effort into those descriptions, and very few people actually scroll down to read your bullet points on the mobile phone because they have to scroll down so far. And the thing is, when you are on a mobile phone and you scroll down to the bullet points, all you see is an entire block of text, and it is really, really overwhelming. Personally, I almost never read the bullet points on my mobile phone because it's literally that overwhelming. You're seeing an entire block of text on your screen, and there's no pictures, there's no spaces, there's nothing. It's just a whole, imagine your entire screen full of text, and that's what it is. And a lot of people don't read that. So it's very important to have a good description, but there's more than that. It's a lot more than that. You need to be putting a lot more effort into your pictures. That's what this really comes down to. You need to have pictures where people can actually read about your product in the pictures. Let me show you some really good examples, because people on mobile simply do not read your product type bullets and they really don't read your description either. So you need to have pictures that look like this, that people can simply look at the pictures and be able to understand what your product is. For this one, they don't have to read anything of your listing to know what size the product is, because from what I've heard from the experts is that on mobile, people simply look at the pictures and that does at least 70% of the selling of your product. So you need to make sure they have all the information in there. More pictures like this that have actual text in there and explain the features of your product, because this is what people are seeing and this is how most people are making their decisions on mobile. They still help on desktop, but they have a lot more of an impact on mobile. And again, pictures like this that continue to show you what the product is like. So what I want you guys to do is go look at your products, look on them on mobile, on the app and on the actual browser, and figure out if they are optimized for that. You're probably going to find out that your titles are not optimized well and your pictures are lacking in actual descriptions.